Hey, everybody. So, today on Red Ink, we're going to chat a little bit about falling out of love and how to fall back into love with your story. So, get ready. I'm going to give you a real quick way to fall back in love and reignite the spark that you might have felt initially for the story that you're writing. So, it happens to the best of us. We all kind of like get that initial enthusiastic um, bit of information or idea that kind of sparks the idea to write the story, and then we just kind of like fall out of love with it once we get into the mire of working through it. And this is the same for relationships as it is for things that we work on. Projects like writing a book are long projects, and they take a long time, and sometimes it's really hard to kind of keep that fire going in the initial startup of it. So what we're going to talk about is a way for you to kind of reignite the fire for your story and help you feel a little bit better about approaching your story each time you kind of sit down to work on it. So I'm going to read something. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to refer you to this book, The War of Art, by Steven Pressfield. It's a great book. I've got several of his books actually, but this one is interesting because it's how to break through your blocks. And there's a something I want to talk to you, like this part right here. It says resistance and love, and this is what he says. He says resistance is directly proportional to love. If you're feeling a massive resistance, the good news is there's tremendous love there too. If you didn't love the project that is terrifying you, you wouldn't feel anything. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. The more resistance you experience, the more important your manifested art project or enterprise is to you, and the more gratification you'll feel when you finally do it. So remember that. Remember that just because you fall out of love doesn't mean you're out of love. It's actually just you're kind of probably just needing to reignite things. So this is a great book. I recommend it. Pick it up. It's a really quick read. Stephen Pressfield's all of his books are really quick reads, but that one's a great one. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to identify the root of the problem. Why are you falling out of love with your project? And sometimes it's maybe you got too close to it. Maybe there's something that's kind of bogging you down, or you're getting into like I said, getting into the mire of things, and you're kind of like not really understanding how to get through a particularly tough part of your story. Whatever it is, just recognize that sometimes a break is what you need there. So just, are you too close to the story right now? The other thing you might be feeling is just like I said, that daily grind. If you're constantly in it, um, sometimes it's really starts to feel more like labor and less like love. So like, again, I'm going to reiterate, sometimes it's better to take those breaks and step away or work on something else for a minute and then come back to it. And then sometimes self-doubt plays into this. Sometimes we get a little bit unsure of ourselves, or we second guess our abilities, or maybe we're just going to hear some negative self-talk in our heads about what we're even trying to accomplish. I want you to recognize when those thoughts come through, that's just, again, that's resistance. So it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Just you need just to reframe your thoughts. So it's normal to write a book and feel a little bit like bogged down. So I first want you to give yourself that permission. Recognize that it's okay for you to feel this way, and that you just need to kind of like reignite that fire. So what I want you to do, this is just a real quick fix, is I want you to set a timer for about 15 minutes. I want you to sit down for 15 minutes, no distractions. And I want you to write down 5 to 10 things that you really love about your story, or that really kind of caught your attention the first time you sat down to write your story. Maybe there's scenes that you loved, or maybe there are encounters that your characters had, or maybe it's a particular like circumstance that comes up. Whatever it is, it's free writing. It is not critiquing. It is not editing. It is just free writing. 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever, but I want you to write those things down and just kind of free brain that. What that's going to do is that's going to kind of like help you reframe your brain and kind of like um, reignite those things that you might have remembered, or have those things that you might have like really fallen in love with in the beginning. So once you have that list, I want you to kind of pin that somewhere, put it somewhere that's going to help you, that you're going to be able to see it, so that you can remember those things about your story that you really, really loved. And these can be things that are not just necessarily in your story. They're going to be things like circumstances or things that maybe that triggered it. Maybe you were at a concert and you really loved the concert and you want to remember what you felt when you were at that concert and what might have triggered that feeling to inject that into your story. So write those things down, keep them handy so that you can refer back to them when you're feeling a little bit, bogged down. And that should help you at least remember why you're writing this story in the first place. One of the couple other things that you can do is you can set up a Pinterest like mood board, on Pinterest. Um, Pin things on there that kind of like remind you or help you feel that fire about your story. And then maybe pick up a few songs on a playlist that will also match the mood of that story, so that you can feel like you need to reignite that feeling. You can go listen to that music. So those are a couple other things that you can do to kind of help you keep that feeling going. But again, remember, first and foremost, always just take a break if you need to, step away, reframe your brain, rethink about what you're doing, and it will help. Another book I recommend, I'm going to recommend this. It's called the Big Magic or Big Magic. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert. I have not read this book yet, but I've heard multiple people tell me that this is a good book for like reigniting that creative part of your brain. So I recommend that because it's been recommended to me. I have not yet read it. Like I said, it's on my list, but I do recommend this. I have read this. This is a great book. Anything by Steven Pressfield. I love it. But yeah, this is a good one. So again, I hope this is helpful. Remember, it's not your fault. It's just part of the way the brain works. It kind of gets bored with things. So just remind your brain why you're happy about writing that story and get it going. If you need more help, or you want someone to actually help you like dig into the story and see where you might be stuck, hit me up at editsbystacy.com or printtopro.com. I have team members that are ready to help you and get your book on track for publishing. Again, I hope you have a great week. And if you have any comments or you want to share with me why your story is awesome, put it in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys next week.